What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. Episode 103. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. I mean, football week is upon us. We're going to see what happens after this week, whether or not I'm going to be watching football for the rest of the season or not. But I'm looking forward to, like I said, looking forward to the fall weather and then some of the other things that fall brings. So,
yeah, you got two chances at least. You can either root for your Giants or you can root for your fantasy team. And if they both go in the tank week one, I don't know what you do.
I don't know. Maybe I root for the Jets. if they all go south, so we'll see what happens.
This is why I got so good at fantasy football, Rich. I was too tired of ending my season after 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping the fantasy guys bless me this year. I don't get that many injuries, but I'm still a little hesitant on my team. I'm a little iffy on my receivers, man. I like my backs, like my quarterback, tight ends. I went for the double tight end banger. I was hoping Andrews would be there at my third pick, but somebody picked him like 2 picks before. So it's been great to have him and Kelsey. So
yeah, that's an interesting strategy going with the 2 tight ends, but definitely a position that isn't very deep, I would say.
Yeah, and then I also figured that because they pretty much put up almost wide receiver numbers, over 1,000 yards each, probably about 10 touchdowns each. So I figured that'd be since I was picking out the back end of the draft, I'm going to miss out on the top receivers.
Sure.
So I figured that was my way of sneaking the receivers, and then I can use one for a flex spot, and then I can use one for the the tight end spot, and then I could just rotate.
Sure.
Pretty much my receivers by committee would help me get through the season.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
How are you feeling about your team?
Pretty good. I like my receivers. I was happy that Kamara fell to me in the 3rd round there. That was nice. And then having Breece Hall is a question mark, but got a solid bench. I'm solid across the board. Only hole really is tight end, but again, if you're not getting Andrews, Kelsey, or Pitts, I think that it's kind of a crapshoot after that.
Yeah, I was actually going to pick Hall. I was debating between him and ETN, but I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I went with ETN.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to be okay either way. You just never know with the young guys. I know it's ETN's technically his 2nd year, but it's really his first. And Breece Hall, which everyone loves. I think he had an awesome summer.
Mm-hmm.
But he's, again, in the end, he's still a rookie. So
yeah, but I think the Jets are going to use him. He'll be their bell cow. I think he'll be the consistent thing there. Being that Wilson's out right now, so I mean it's going to give him something to go to. I mean you can't go wrong with a good run game. So
yeah, I mean he's more of I think he's a good runner, but he's also dynamic catching the ball. I think that was the big sell for the Jets, and I think why he brings a lot of value, especially in fantasy. When you're looking at PPR, or in our case, is PPR, but even in the half PPR leagues, I think a guy like Hall moves up draft boards because that's kind of why the Jets drafted him, safety blanket for Zach Wilson there. Yeah,
potential Saquon, man. As I said, he'll be the bell cow for you guys as long as he stays healthy. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does as well. Because I liked him a lot in the draft. I thought the Giants should have took a run at him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't think they're going to re-sign Saquon, and I think he would have been a good replacement. So, and in the event Saquon gets injured, I mean you got somebody right there. So
right.
Then there's no need to re-sign Saquon. But I was being greedy,
I hear you.
And then I mean, since we're in NFL, let's get to it, man. The first week in the NFL kicking off this Thursday night game. We got the Bills and the Rams. Who you liking in this matchup?
I like the Bills. I do really like the Bills this year. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. They were so close to getting to that pinnacle and knocking off the Chiefs and crazy, one of the craziest playoff games that we'll ever see. Ousted them from the playoffs. So I think they're hungry. I think they want to come back, and they got a lot to prove. And another year under Josh Allen. I know Dayball's gone, but I think they've kind of kept a similar offense. They didn't really change much for Allen. So I think that I like the Bills to go to the AFC Championship this year. I think, and maybe the Super Bowl. But I definitely like them in Week 1 with a hangover Rams team.
I mean, I wouldn't call him a hangover Rams. The boy Darren Donald's hitting people with helmets, so he's definitely awake, man. He's definitely awake.
No, I know. I was joking. I mean, the Rams are going to be good again. I guess they're probably between 11 and 13 wins again, and McVay is not satisfied with one Super Bowl, and I think he's built his team like that too, where you can obviously see Aaron Donald in the preseason trying to hit people with helmets, and you still got Jalen Ramsey there, and I think that's just a fiery team. So I think they're still going to be good. I just think that the Bills come out night 1 and kind of set the tone for their season.
I don't know, man. Something about this game is telling me the Rams are going to come out swinging, man. Literally. We know they got Donald, they got Ramsey back there. They also got your boy Wagner in the secondary, and at the linebacker unit. So he'll definitely be part of that front seven, trying to create some havoc. I feel like the addition of Robinson is going to be good for them. The only thing for me is their running backs. Who's going to stay healthy, and who's going to put up some production for them. But I mean, they got the quarterback. They got Cooper Kupp. I'm definitely expecting a shootout though, high 20s, like a 28-24 type of game.
Yeah, I think the same. I think it's going to be something like that, I would say, like a 34-31 type game.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be on a plane, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to see.
Oh man.
I know.
I'm
on a plane Thursday night, and then I'm on a plane Sunday morning.
Oh man,
it's tough opening weekend for me.
Yeah, I mean, the other games you'll probably miss. I mean, we got the Steelers and the Bengals. That should be a good game, just to see how the new Steelers look with their. I think Trubisky's starting, but it's pretty much going to be a countdown to see how long he's going to be starting before his replacement comes in.
Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett. Because, I mean, a lot of people are liking him more during the preseason. But, I mean, number-wise, they're pretty much looking the same. But I think they're going to, just ease him into it. They're not really going to rush anything. So, I mean, they got time, man. There's no need for them to rush anything. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the Bengals as well, to see how much of, fixing they did with the offensive line. Because Steelers are going to be a good test for them because, they got Watt on one side. He tied last year for the sacks, so it's gonna be interesting to see because he's a high motor guy. He's always getting sacked, so if you're not blocking him, he's gonna definitely run over some people.
Yep.
Then we have the Browns and the Panthers. That should be a good game. We got Baker taking on his former team, and then I don't know, man. I feel like the Panthers might win this, man.
Yeah, I like the Panthers in this game. I think that not only you have the Baker revenge game, but you got Jacoby Brissett, I just don't trust, and that Panthers defense is pretty solid. So, I like the Panthers. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching it. But I feel like if the Panthers win, I mean, there's gonna be so much Baker hype the next day that it's just gonna get out of control. But then they'll probably lose the next week, and then they'll be back down to earth. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Then we got the Ravens and the Jets. How you feeling about the Jets against the Ravens, man? You guys gonna shut down the run? What's going on?
I never know what to expect from this team, man. They could come out, they could shut Jackson down, they could shut down the run game, and they could blow Baltimore out, or it could go the other way, and Baltimore could run for 450 yards and just run the Jets out the field. It could go either way. I don't even know. I have no idea. I wouldn't put money on this game if I were you though.
Oh no, I might put money on the over and under for rushing yards, but that's about it for that game.
Yeah. My guess is there's probably going to be a lot of rushing. I think the line on this game was -7.5 for Baltimore. I just, I don't know. Like I said, the Jets could easily come. I think they could easily come out and they could stifle Lamar, and they could, get up early and not look back, or it could go the other way. You never know with the Jets.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, if we gotta see how things play out with
Right.
your run game, because if you guys are able to run it down their throat, it's going to keep them off the field and force them in the pass situations. And we know they've been struggling, passing the ball in that offense. And then I'm also interested to see how
Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, to see how if there's any chemistry between him and Lamar, because he didn't play the majority of the season last year. Then when he came back, Lamar was pretty much out after. So
yeah. I mean, they must trust him. They dealt Marquise Brown out, so
yeah, he's a bigger target too. So I think that's kind of what they need. So especially in the red zone.
Yeah, for sure.
And then other games, I mean, we got the Jaguars and the Commanders. I think I'll just watch the game just to see how the Jaguars do.
Snooze fest.
And just to see how the Commanders do with Brian Robinson and some of the other pieces. But probably a game I wouldn't watch for too long. So
yeah, I think that's the one on red zone where you're probably not seeing much of that game.
Yeah, unless somebody goes off. So I mean, I got ETN, so maybe if he's going off, I'll probably check it out for a little bit. But then after that, just flip it back, because I mean, we got the Raiders and the Chargers. That should be a great game. Two high-powered offenses going at it, and just to see what noise the Raiders can make.
Sure.
Being a lot of people consider them the third or fourth best team in that division. So
yeah, I do want to see how that Derek Carr, Devonta Adams connection looks.
Yeah, they played in college, best friends. So the crazy thing is that if he looks like Aaron Rodgers with Adams, and then what is that going to say about Rodgers?
Yeah, but Rodgers did it with Jordy Nelson too, and so I think it's not just Devontae.
Yeah, but I feel like he did it at a higher level with Adams compared to Nelson.
I don't know, man. Look at Nelson's numbers. That was like as things were turning into a passing league, whereas now they're strictly a passing league. The numbers that he put up, I think in 08, 09, even with who was there? Gosh, Donald Driver and that crew. When they when they moved from Brett Favre to Rodgers, he was still doing it. So
let's see the stats. Maybe 2011, he had 1,215 touchdowns. Then 14, 16, another 15 and 13. Yeah, I don't feel like it's like Adams, man. Let me see Adams. Hold on. Yeah, it's about the same, but he had more targets. He had more targets though.
To who? To Jordy?
Yeah, but Jordy had more yards though. On I think the most yards he had like 2 1,500 seasons, 2 or 3. Adams only had 1, and then he had Nelson had more touchdowns throughout the span.
Yeah, he was a touchdown machine.
Yeah, but still looking forward to seeing that because they got other weapons on that team too. So it's definitely going to free up. You can't double team him like you could on the Packers, even though some people didn't double team him. Don't know why. He's only receiver there, but hey. Then we got the Packers and the Vikings. This is kind of one of those snoozers that you'll just check out real quick to see what's going on, see if Jefferson scores or see if anything else is going on. Just to see how the Packers look, if they can put up some kind of numbers offensively, especially against the Vikings. They don't have the best defensive team, but definitely going to be a high scoring game. It should be.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Packers defense has improved, but it's a high powered offense over there with Minnesota.
Yep. I said as long as Cousins doesn't mess it up, then we should get a nice showing. So. Then we got then we got the Giants and the Titans. It's gonna be a long day if Derrick Henry runs down our throat. I mean, we don't have the best secondary, but it doesn't matter because they have one of the best backs in the league. So I mean, if he gets in that secondary, he's gonna be stiff arming people like crazy. So I'm interested to seeing how that plays out. Just to see how the Giants look offensively. There's a lot of issues with the offensive line, and then Daniel Jones not be able to get the ball out to people. So, and then we got Saquon back. So, hopefully we can have some kind of balance and just be decent offensively. Offensively, yeah. And then defensively, I know we got a lot to work on. So,
yep.
Then we have the Chiefs and the Cardinals. It's probably one of the best games of the week, in my opinion. Two young quarterbacks going at it. We're going to get to see the revamped Chiefs offense, and then we're going to see if your boy can do anything over there in Arizona.
Yeah, this should be a good one. I mean, no Hopkins, but everyone else is there, and then obviously with Mahomes and that revamped Chiefs offense. How does Juju fit in, and what do they do with the backs, and no Tyreek, but you still got Kelsey there, so I think that should be a good one.
Oh yeah, just to see what other options step up, and I'm interested to see that backfield. If Edwards is if they go to him as much as they did the first year, some of the other backups they have on that team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Buccaneers and the Cowboys for the Sunday night game. Not gonna lie, I really don't care too much for this game, but apparently, Fournette is saying their offense is going to be way more high powered this year with Julio Jones. Wait to see that happens. If that happens, he's been very injury prone, but I mean, if they get in the red zone with those two, with him and Evans, I mean, it's pretty much a jump ball. Should be a touchdown.
Yeah, and Cameron Brate. I mean, they're going to be big and athletic around the goal line, and not to mention Fournette, right?
Mm-hmm. And I'm hearing that that the other running back they got too is pretty good. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
On the Monday night game, we got the Broncos and the Seahawks. The revenge of Russell Wilson or the revenge of Pete Carroll. So I'll probably check that out for a little bit, but won't be too into it because I feel like that's a lopsided game. It should be easy win for the Broncos. So
I would think so. The only question there is it's in Seattle, and does Pete Carroll kind of take a little extra into this game, right?
I mean, he should, but the thing is that I think on the Broncos side they understand this severity of the game, and they let Russell cook and go crazy. So so I think they tell Russell to run it up on them. So overall, they got some good matchups the first week. Looking forward to kickoff on Thursday.
Yeah, tough suicide pool this week. I think it's just there's no. I think week ones are always tough, but then when you don't have like a clear, dominant favorite taking a weaker opponent, it's tough.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of games that can go either way. So but as long as my guys perform in fantasy, I'll be good.
That's all you're worried about.
Now on to the NBA. Not too much to cover here. Of course, Donovan Mitchell gets traded, but he gets traded to the Cavaliers. Pretty much similar package that the Knicks offered, but apparently they wanted 7 picks from the Knicks, but instead they just settled for 5 from the Cavs. So I like the new look Cavs. I mean, they got 2 All-Stars at the guard position, and then potential Defensive Player of the Year in Allen. Then they got some young rookies on the roster too that they're building on. So they finished 4th last year in the East.
Was it 4th? I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of on the boat that you can't just run it back. You kind of got to get better, and they did exactly that. So I mean, hopefully it works out. Looking forward to seeing what they do. Even though I'm not a Cavs fan, but I feel like this is the best assembled Cavs team outside of any of the LeBron teams.
Yeah, it was it's definitely with Mitchell and I always forget his name, Garland in the backcourt. Mobley, I think they're set up nicely, and Mitchell's young. So I think you're right. I mean, I think this was a good trade for Cleveland. It would definitely probably puts them in the top 3 conversation. I in turn, I also think it was good for Utah. I mean, if they're going to trade Rudy Gobert and they're going to blow it all up, and they want to get younger and draft picks and do what Danny does, I think they got a haul for him. I think the 3 picks and then the 2 swaps plus Colin Sexton. I think that Utah did good there too.
Yeah, they got a bunch of pieces they can use and build around. And then not to mention the draft picks they got. So because Utah is one of those places that they're not really going to draw in free agencies. They got to really build to the draft, and that's the best. It worked out for them, obviously. The past few years, they got Mitchell in the draft. They had some other pieces, and they were in the playoffs. Potentially one of the best teams in the West at one point, but they just couldn't do anything in the playoffs. So they kind of hit a hard reset. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're back in the playoffs in another year or two. So.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then the other news in the NBA, your boy Montrezl Harrell, he signed with the Sixers. I don't know if I like the signing. It makes sense though, in the event that Embiid gets injured. As well, you also get to rest him because you have a viable big back there.
Yeah, I think it provides some toughness too, right? I mean, Montrezl Harrell's tough. I think that the Philly is always whatever version of this team is always just felt to me like that fake tough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Embiid's big and strong, but I don't know. Is it going to be Embiid against everybody because his teammates are just going to run away?
He's not going to get anybody's face.
No,
really.
No. So I like I do like that signing for them in that respect, and now you got PJ Tucker there too.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think that they're definitely trying to toughen up that team a little bit mentally.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. I wouldn't be surprised if they had went and got Patrick Beverly, but he signed to the Lakers, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Beverly would have been another guy, a perfect guy there. The problem is they got too many swing guys there.
Yeah.
As is.
But we're gonna have to wait and see, man, because James Harden is gonna be the ball carrier. Let's see if we can get some people in our offense, some buckets, some easy buckets.
Yep.
And then outside of that, Netflix dropped the N1 documentary. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out.
I did not yet. No.
Did you see the ESPN one?
No.
Oh man, when you get a chance to watch both of them, it seemed like they should have been together rather than set up.
Really?
They each cover something. They each cover stuff that the other one doesn't. I wish there was a way to put them both together.
I got you.
So you get a better understanding of the full picture. But the one in the Netflix one gives a better understanding of why it ended compared to the ESPN one. So
okay.
The Netflix one has the best, the better beginning, and then the better ending. Okay. So if you took the beginning of the Netflix one and then you put the ESPN one in the middle and then you finish it off with the Netflix one, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. I'll have to. How long are they?
They're each about an hour and 10 minutes each.
Okay.
Hour.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So they're quick watches too. So
nice.
And plus it's about basketball, so you can't go wrong.
Oh yeah. I mean, grew up watching those things. Had them all on VHS.
Yeah, they talk about that, and then they talk about the transition that they made when they went to ESPN, kind of their growth at the time, and then their downfall between the players. But even though the players thing, it was a little minuscule because I felt like they would have got over it eventually, but the ending was just so abrupt that when you see why it just ended. It sucked for them, they were left high and dry, but I don't want to give it away. But when you see it, you're like, oh, damn, that's why it ended.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, then on to MLB. I mean, we got Aaron Judge out here trying to save the Yankees. He's at 54 home runs.
He is. He's literally trying to carry them into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's got the I don't know what them joints, the little joints they shock you with when they're trying to give you CPR.
Oh, the paddles.
Pills, yeah. He's like
defibrillator.
Defibrillator, yeah. He's over here just trying to wake him up, man, with these home runs, man. But I don't know, man. People just not waking up, man. I don't think people understand the importance of going to the playoffs hot or with some momentum. So.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely reeling a little bit. I think that they had a good couple of wins here the last couple of days. They got rained out today, but Tampa's cut it to 5 games now, which is still in the grand scheme of things a lot to make up. And I think you got to have, especially in we got 24 days left, something like that in the season. So it's still a lot of games to make up, but. The way that the Yankees had been playing and the way that Tampa is playing now, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, man. I mean, fingers crossed that they wake up. Something happens. Maybe they need to fight or something. I don't know, man. They need to get the juices flowing, man, and get ready. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just need to start. I mean, at this point, it's really hitting. I mean, the pitching has kind of come back, and everyone's been pitching well. Now it's really. The hitting has just disappeared completely.
Yeah, man. They're 4-6 in the last 10, so they definitely need to flip that around.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got the Twins in. The Twins have had a pretty good year so far. The Yankees own the Twins, so hopefully they can make some quick work of that. And the one time you root for the Red Sox, they can't beat the Rays, so unbelievable.
Yeah, man. The crazy thing is that if you look at the playoff race, like majority of teams are from our division: Yankees, Blue Jays, and Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Orioles aren't far behind either.
Yeah, so I mean, they just got to do it, man. Just somebody got to wake up, man. I don't know what it is, man. Somebody else got to get in the home run race or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I mean, the Dodgers, they do what they're doing. They're dodging everybody else, and they're leading the best team in baseball right now. Outside of behind them, there's the Mets and the Braves, two other potential playoff teams. I'm not gonna lie, man. The Mets are looking a little dangerous, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're built for a playoff run. With DeGrom, Scherzer, and the way that they can hit the ball, and their bullpen's been fantastic this year. I think they're kind of similar to the Yankees. I think sometimes that they rely a lot on the home run, and I think when that disappears, they also disappear. So I think the Dodgers are obviously the team to beat out there, and I just don't see anyone taking them down. But the Mets played them tough in New York last week, and who knows? Put them in a 7-game series, right? And you got DeGrom and Scherzer twice, so.
Yep. As I said, if you can get a hot start, then it's gonna make you harder to beat. So.
For sure.
Especially that if you can sneak some games out in LA and then come back to New York, and then it'll be less pressure to win games, but I mean still a lot of pressure because now you have the home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so tonight we got a dish called Marry Me Chicken.
Okay.
It's it's basically like a creamy sun-dried tomato chicken that you can do over pasta or mashed potatoes. In our case, we did it over linguine. It's actually it's a good weeknight dish. It's pretty easy to make. Basically, you just take the chicken, season it with salt and pepper, throw it in a frying pan with a little bit of olive oil. Just cook it for about 5 minutes on each side to get it nice and browned. And then you don't want to cook it all the way through yet because you're going to put it in to simmer after. But then you take your chicken out, throw some garlic in there, let that cook up for about 30 seconds or so, and then throw in heavy cream, chicken stock, chicken bouillon, some Parmesan cheese, and then a chopped up jar of sun-dried tomatoes. And then throw some seasoning on there, some Italian seasoning, pepper, some crushed red pepper, and salt. And let that kind of, stir that all together, get that to a nice little boil, and then throw the chicken back in, drop your heat down, and just kind of let that simmer in there until the chicken's cooked through. Like I said, while you're doing that, you can either do mashed potatoes or some sort of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
It went really well with the linguine. So just pour a nice little bowl of linguine, put the chicken on, and then you got the sauce with the sun-dried tomatoes in there on top. And then you can top it off with some crushed red pepper, torn basil, and some Parmesan cheese.
Oh, nice! Can't go wrong with the parm or the parm on top.
I figured you'd say that.
It's all about the cheese, man. And then, what would you guys drink that down with?
All right, so I told you this week we were gonna review a beer from Dream Chasers. So Dream Chasers is in Waxhaw, which is the town that we are building our house in. Their main their flagship beer is the Yard Breather. I did not have that, but I had the Footbridge. So it's a kind of more of a West Coast style. They use a Centennial hop in it. Comes in around 6.5% ABV. I'd say it was okay. I think overall as a brewery, their beer is just fine. I think it was the last couple times we've been there, it's been a little a little dead on the atmosphere, but I think when it gets a little cooler, they open up the they have these like garage style doors. They open up to the outside, and good place to kind of hang out on a Friday night. There's a lot of little shops in the downtown area too, which is neat. Little restaurants, but the beer was I'd say it was average. I'd probably put this the Footbridge at like a 6.5.
Oh man. But I mean, even though the beer wasn't the best, have you guys like been out to like those places yet? Like nightlife wise or not yet?
Oh yeah. We've been to a handful so far. Yep.
Have you guys found like a favorite spot yet or not yet?
Not really. Still working on that. We've been to a place a couple of times where it's a good vibe, but the food is, I would say, mediocre. And then we went to a really good Italian place downtown, which was nice, but not still poking around there. It's like 20 or 25 minutes from where we are. So I think when we get in our house, we'll be checking out all the places down there.
Oh, nice. I'm definitely looking forward to getting those reviews on the places.
Oh yeah.
So, especially when it comes to the beers, because I know once you find a good place with good drinks, it's gonna put it way above everything else. So
it's tough to go another place after that.
Yep. And then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then this week, not too much for the BRRs. They dropped the trailer for the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Not gonna lie, might have to check this out. I don't know. I'm a fan of horror, so I thought it was very interesting that they had a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. So I had to look up how the hell they released it, and it's now under Disney. So apparently, copyright laws are only good for either 95 years or 126 of like initial like release. And Winnie the Pooh came out like 1926. I was like, God damn. So that's why they were able to release it. And then apparently Disney still makes like $3 to $8 billion off of Winnie the Pooh alone a year. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much the movie does and how much the like splash over happens from this movie if the movie is good. How much it'll splash over to Disney as far as other people liking or streaming up more Winnie the Pooh type stuff. So I thought that was very interesting because if this does well, I'm sure we're gonna see some other stuff come out the woodwork of other like horror type movies or spin-off type movies based off of some stuff that they can based off the copyright law. So still watching some other shows. We had episode 2 or 3 that came out, right? Mentioned definitely should check it out. Pretty much like I said before, kind of like a Game of Thrones type show, but everybody's blind. They're kind of getting into technology now, so I don't want to give away what they don't have guns yet, but somebody's using some other stuff. But it's very like political, different houses. But it is the last season. Seems like they cut it a little short. I feel like they could have went a lot more into depth with the other houses and stuff like that. But overall, great fight scenes, good acting, definitely a good show. Something you want to check out when you have time. And then outside of that, I finished Echoes. I know you finished it. How'd you like it? What was your take on it before I give mine?
I just, like I said last week, I know I was kind of like generalizing it, but I thought the storyline was interesting. It was a little confusing, I think, up front. It's because, and purposely done, right? It's because you don't really want the backstory because they're kind of playing out the backstory at the same time that the show is moving. But I just felt like there was a few things that were like a little bit vague at the end, and with Jack and his fight that he got into or whatever, where he came back and he was all bruised up. The horse guys that were took the $60,000, and I know it was kind of like a bit of a frame job, but I don't know. There was some weird parts, but it was a tough show to end, right, with Lenny losing her mind and Gina having to get out of there somehow. But I think overall it was a pretty good show. Kind of kept you on your toes there, and it was fairly quick and easy to watch, which is always nice.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely wasn't bad to watch. It was a little confusing at first because you
didn't know who was who.
Yeah, because you're like, wait, is she Gina or is she? Wait. So, but overall, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hated the cop. She was just so annoying, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, early on, yes, I would agree. I think that she was like probing and doing things that like no real police officer could or would do. But, I think they're trying to play on that, small town, West Virginia, everyone knows everyone, everyone's in everyone's business, so the cop can just kind of do whatever the hell she wants to do. But yeah, I could see where you would you'd be a little annoyed. She's just like pulling people in and charging them with murder, like left and right. Like that was kind of strange.
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just like, all right, when she showed up to the hotel with the coffee, I'm like, come on, what kind of cop? Well, you can't do that. Come on, man. You can't just show up to
No.
somebody's hotel with coffee talking about, hey, I'm here to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it was a decent show. They kind of left it on a cliffhanger at the end because you kind of see what she was about to do. Homegirl's about to get the revenge rather than just like go off into the sunset. And it's a limited series, so we know they're not bringing it back. So overall, it wasn't bad, man. It was a good watch.
Yeah, for sure.
And then outside of that, there was we got House of Dragon episode 3. How were you feeling about this episode? Much more doable compared to last time, huh?
I didn't mind last time as much as some people. Yeah, this week was good. I think that obviously with the battle, the stepstones, with the crab, the king of the crabs there. The one thing I didn't like was like, and I hate this, and when they do this in all shows, but like Damon's running, with the knife in his hand. They got about 100 people firing arrows at him, and he's dodging all of them. Also wielding a sword and killing people on the way to get to the cave where the king of the crabs is. That part I'm just like, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, I thought it was, he's obviously, he doesn't want his brother's help. He wants to do it on his own. He wants to build up some credibility and some street cred there as being powerful. And then, I think ultimately probably at some point try to overthrow the king with him and I always forget the guy's name, the Valerian guy, like obviously trying to team up with them to overthrow the Iron Throne there. And besides that, I think with the king having his baby, I think he's a little now. I don't know if he's regretting naming Rhaenyra to the throne, but I think he's put himself in quite the quandary at this point, and and he doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah, but I think something's going to happen where
he's almost trying to like sell her off at this point. He's trying to get
trying to get her out of here, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I mean, something's going to happen where she eventually has to go, or I don't know, man. Can you take the title back? Like,
I think that would. I think it would not look good on him, on the king. So
maybe he does it as he dies, or
I don't know. Maybe I think that's why he's trying to like get her to take a husband, and then it's easier for him to be like, well, no, she's helping to run Castle Rock or something like that, right?
Yeah, because he tried to send her off to the Lannisters, man.
I know. So I think that'll be kind of the storyline of how that all plays out when they have the 10-year jump at some point during the season, and the son's older and Rhaenyra is older, and what does that look like? Yeah,
because I think between the second episode and the third, it was like 3 years or something like that.
2 years, yeah.
2 years, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a matter of time. We're gonna get a 5-year jump and a 10-year jump. So we're about to start seeing new actors soon for some of these people. So
I still think that's crazy. Like you got signed on for like 4 episodes, and then they're dumping you and going with someone else, the older version of you.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you could say you were part of it, even if you were like somebody for a few episodes. So,
yep.
But overall, I mean, good show. They're moving in the right direction because this is not like the best part either. So they kind of want to get to that. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then I checked out the counterpart that started Lord of the Rings. They put out the first 2 episodes. It was okay, man. It wasn't. The thing is, like, I like to see more of the story of the Dark Lord. I guess that's what he's called, like of his story. But they haven't really got into it yet because they're still finding out like certain things. I guess it's like the rise. This will be his rise, or so to say. I'm not a huge nerdy of like Lord of the Rings, so it's hard for me to explain it.
Yeah, I don't. I've never watched 1 minute of the show, so the series at all. So this is all you, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, I just I like the fact that the battle scenes are good, more medieval, fantasy. So the battle scenes are a lot better sometimes compared to like Game of Thrones really doesn't have like huge fight scenes where like people are battling sword for sword, kind of like they didn't really do it till like the last season with until like Jon Snow had that big fight.
Yeah, I mean the only reason they fight in like the Game of Thrones is like during war, right? I mean, there's no just random sword battles. Like it's a concerted effort, one house against another or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Lord of the Rings. You're getting a lot of different scenes where people are fighting, or because they're fighting evil majority of the time. So there's always some kind of sword battle, or somebody's fighting some kind of demon or ghoul or some kind of troll or something like that. So people are getting to use the swords that they got, and because some people have like cool weapons and stuff, and like armor, but you don't really get them see them shake and bake, on the battlefield like that. So. But it's good to see. That's what I said. If they have more fight scenes and stuff like that, it's gonna be interesting to see if they can put up a fight with Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And then I think that was it. I know Love Is Blind's coming back on the 16th. It's Life After the Altar. So I guess I'm gonna be reviewing some of the stuff that happened from the second season. But we know they're all divorced. So I don't know if there was anything else that's coming out.
Not that I know of.
I know Tom mentioned All of Mankind, so I'll definitely try to give that a watch.
Yep.
When I have some time, and then I'm trying to think what else. That might really be it. I don't think there was anything else I was really watching. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else. I know Atlanta comes back on the 15th, so Abbott's Elementary comes back on like the 20-something. So that's pretty much it.
Nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Until next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.